10,875. That's the magic number. What magic number, you guys may be wondering? Well, that is the total amount of space that is going to be available underneath the new Home Care Worker Immigration Pilot Program that is scheduled to become live on March 31st, 2025, just a little bit over a month from now. Now, this program is geared towards attracting caregivers to Canada to fill a very crucial void that is needed in the country. Now, there's two main benefits for this program. One, caregivers get permanent residency upon landing in Canada. And two, it reduces the barriers that caregivers would usually face in the past. Not having a clear pathway towards permanent residency, it removes all those barriers. So once you are eligible underneath this new program, you are eligible for permanent residency upon landing in Canada. Of course, we spoke about this already in the past, and this is a game-changing program. However, 10,875 is the total amount of space that's going to be available. Now, before we get further into the conversation, there's been something that's been on my mind. Going through my analytics, it shows that 55% of all the persons who are watching our videos have not yet subscribed. So I'm asking you guys kindly right now, if you are part of that 55%, please take a second right now to just hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. It's easy and it's free. And of course, if you want to see more of these conversations about moving to Canada, please let me know by hitting that like button. It's the easiest way to let me know that you guys appreciate these kind of videos. And let your thoughts be known in the comment section. Really appreciate it. Now, the Home Care Worker Immigration Pilot Program, is it the first of its kind? No. There were programs in the past that allowed persons to work in Canada on a work permit, but there was no clear pathway for permanent residency. Some of those programs were: 1, the Home Childcare Provider Pilot and Home Support Worker Pilot, which ended in 2024, last year. 2, you had the Living Caregiver Program, which ended in 2014. You had the Caring for Children Program, which ended in 2019. And then you had the Interim Pathway for Caregivers, which ended also in 2019. So Canada has always had immigration streams specific for caregivers, because caregivers is a well-needed occupation here in Canada. But unlike this new program, none of those previous programs allowed a clear pathway for permanent residency. So that's what makes this one unique. You may be wondering, what do I need in order to be eligible underneath this program? The first thing you're going to need is a Canadian language benchmark of at least score 4, right? The other thing you're going to need is an equivalent of Canadian high school certificate. You're going to need to secure a full-time job offer from a Canadian family or from a Canadian organization that's providing care either part-time or full-time. Big deal. And then you're also going to need to show that you have relevant work experience. And the relevant work experience is the part that's going to be most impactful on your application. They are going to want to see that you actually have experience in providing caregiver services in the past, and that makes you eligible for this. Why is this program important? Well, it's simple. Canada has an aging population, and there's a lot more demand for caregivers in homes and in family homes as well, right? As mentioned right here, Canada has a consistent high demand for professional caregivers due to the aging population. This program aims to address the critical need in this specific sector. Now, we mentioned that you can get your job offer from a Canadian family or from an organization, as long as that organization provides part-time or full-time care. But you need to have a full-time job offer in order to be eligible for this program. Simply put, it's going to be a rat race. It's going to be the fittest of the fittest. Only 10,875 spots available for 2025. So only those who are prepared and proactive will be able to maximize the benefits of coming to Canada as a caregiver. Now, there are things that you could be doing right now that put yourself in an advantageous position to make sure that when it becomes live, you are the first in line. Now, one of the things that you need to be doing is to knock off your English test. Your English test can be done through CELPIP or IELTS. Now, CELPIP is predominantly done in Canada. This program is open for persons who are already in Canada and persons who are not in Canada. So if you're not in Canada, the language benchmark that's mostly done is the IELTS, it's usually called. A benchmark of 4 is pretty easy to get. The English test comprises of 4 categories: listening, speaking, writing, and reading, right? 4 categories. And then you get an average at the end. CLB 4, knock it out the park. Book your English test as soon as possible because it's going to get very congested, right? So get that done as soon as you can. The other thing you want to do is to get your qualifications assessed by WES, W-E-S. You want to make sure that you're getting your qualifications assessed to show that it's at least the equivalent of a Canadian high school certificate or higher, right? The minimum you need is a Canadian high school certificate equivalent or higher. So get that verified as quickly as possible. The processing time the last time when I checked was somewhere over in around 30 days for your verification. So you don't want to wait until March 31st to get that verified. And I'm speaking about things that you can do that's going to be beneficial even if other programs become available, because your English test lasts for 2 years and your verification is always there. It doesn't go away. So even if you don't have a job offer yet, you can still do these things and then put yourself in a position now to only be relying on a job offer. And even if this doesn't work out for you, you still have those in your possession that can put you in a better position if another program becomes available, right? Which moves on to the third thing that you should be doing: hunting a job offer. Hunt it, right? Hunt it. You can hunt your job offer using Canadian Job Bank, Indeed, Glassdoor, or simply picking up the phone. Right? A lot of times people overlook the old-fashioned way of looking for a job. But you know what? The old-fashioned way is usually the most effective way. So if you're not in Canada, instead of just sending in a resume, pick up the phone, call, explain the situation, and then get your job offer. The good thing about this program is it's no cost to the employer. Now, previously, other programs such as LMIA and different programs where a person get work permit and work for a specific family or a specific employer, the employer would be responsible to pay for that LMIA fee, and it would come at no cost for the immigrant. This program, though, the employer doesn't pay anything. So that's a thing that you can use to sell, to say, listen, 100% this would be on me. I'm the one who's paying for all of my expenses, including your immigration documents. All you need is a job offer. In terms of processing time and other details, those will be announced in March, I am assuming, after March 31st or up anywhere in around that time, because the program is scheduled to be launched the 31st of March. So I'm guessing that closer to the time, you would find out more about the processing time and the more intricacies of the eligibility requirements, like age and so forth, so on. We don't know that as yet. That information is not out there as yet. So you can't do anything about that. But what you can do is your English test, your verification, and look a job, right? You can definitely make sure that you're doing those things. The other thing you want to do is to make sure that you're organizing your experience. Like if you have worked somewhere in the past and you have that experience, and I'm not sure what exactly the experience is going to ask for. Sometimes it asks for 1 year in the last 3 years. Sometimes it asks for 1 year in the last 5 years, or 18 months out of the last 3 years. I don't know what they're going to ask for. But my point is, if you have extensive work experience being as a caregiver with a family or with an organization, my advice to you would be to reach out to that family, reach out to that organization, and get your job reference letter or job verification letter to show that you've been there, and get that out the way as well. Again, emphasis on if you have experience in providing caregiving services for a family, int, right? So as long as you have the relevant experience as a full-time providing care services for a family or an organization, I have to repeat it again, get your verification letter, and so that way now, when March 31st come live, you know it's a rat race. 10,875. That is the number. Only those who are already ready and waiting will be successful. So my tip to you is to get the ball moving. Don't procrastinate. And I'll leave you guys with a quote. But before I leave the quote, I'll ask you guys, did you subscribe? If not, guys, please take a second, hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more of these videos about more different pathways, let me know in the comment section. And if you like this conversation, let me know by liking the video. I'll leave you guys with a quote. Procrastination is like a credit card. It is fun until you get the bill. See you guys in the next video.